Hi guys, it's Keith from IELTS Speaking Success, and today I'm going to give you a video that is taken actually from my new course. It's an online course on Udemy, and this video is the kind of video you get on that course. It's all about speaking evaluation. So how is the IELTS test really evaluated and scored? And what do you need to do to get a band 7? Listen in and find out. So in this video, we're looking at what the examiner is listening for. So what and how will they evaluate your English? So the IELTS speaking test takes place in a room with one examiner, live, one-on-one. They will ask you the questions and the same person evaluates your language. They will only evaluate the language you produce. They cannot guess what you mean. So never think, oh, they know what I mean. No, they don't, and they won't try. So make sure you produce enough language and make sure you speak clearly and loud enough so they can hear you and evaluate you. So the examiner will evaluate 4 things in the exam, okay? Fluency, vocabulary, grammar, and pronunciation. Let's have a look at each of these in a bit more detail. So first, fluency. And here there are probably 3 things the examiner looks at: ease of speaking, hesitation and repetition, and connectives. Ease of speaking is basically how easily you connect your sentences. Okay? So if I say, well, I come from Manchester. It's a beautiful city. It's up in the north of England and I've lived there for a long time. It's a nice, smooth flow, good fluency. Okay, be careful. Fluency is not speed. You do not have to speak fast. Then there is hesitation. Hesitation is, that's your hesitation. Repetition, when you repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat. So you need to be listening to yourself, maybe record yourself and notice the hesitation and repetition. For example, I live in Manchester. Now, when you play that back and listen, you'll notice how much you hesitate and repeat. So try and reduce the ums and the repetition. Next, we have connectives. Basically, the words that connect your sentences. So, for example, and, but, then, also, to, however, so. All of these are connectives. You need to use quite a few and a good range, and spoken connectives, not written academic connectives. Okay, so for fluency, basically a band 7, okay, would look like this. Speaks without any noticeable effort, may have hesitation at times, uses a range of connectors with flexibility. Let's move on and look at vocabulary. For vocabulary, there are 5 things to look at. So we have the range, the mistakes, idiomatic expressions, collocation, and paraphrase. Let's look at each one in turn. So the range is the range of vocabulary. Do you use a short range? So for example, air pollution is bad for the air. Or do you have a wide range of words? Air pollution is detrimental to the environment. So that range is important. Secondly, mistakes. Sometimes we confuse the verb for the adjective or the adjective for the noun, right? So be careful of mistakes like air pollutes is badly for Okay, be careful with the mistakes. Thirdly, we have idiomatic expressions, and these are really important. They will include idioms, sayings, phrasal verbs. So brush up on your idiomatic expressions. Don't throw in the towel and you will sail through the exam with flying colours. It's good to use them. Maybe not too many, but use some. Next, we have collocation. You need to be aware of collocation. Do we say do a shower, make a shower, have a shower, get a shower, become a shower? Oh yeah, have a shower. It's the words that go together. You need a good awareness of collocation. And finally, paraphrase. And this is your ability to say something when you don't know the word. Maybe you forget the word, but you can't say, oh, I don't know how to say that. You have to find a way to express your idea. So for example, I was fixing a plug the other day and I needed that long thing made of metal to help me unscrew the top, and then I could fix it. That long thing made of metal to unscrew the top. Okay, I forgot it's a screwdriver, but I can paraphrase. And a key part of a band 7 is you can paraphrase effectively. So let's look then at what we need for a band 7. Uses vocabulary flexibly to discuss a variety of topics. Uses less common and idiomatic vocabulary, shows awareness of collocation, can paraphrase effectively. Great. Let's look now at grammar. For grammar, there are 3 things the examiner will be listening for: simple or complex structures, flexible use, and mistakes. So what do we mean by simple? Well, basically, a simple structure is 1 clause and 1 tense. For example, I live in London. It's a beautiful city. I like it very much. 1 clause, 1 tense. Complex, though, is normally more than 1 clause, maybe 2 or 3, and more than 1 tense, and different tenses. So for example, I'm living in London, which is a beautiful city. Relative clause, 2 clauses. I'm living in London, which is a beautiful city, and I have been living here for 2 years. More complex sentences, okay? 3 clauses, different tenses. That is complex. So the ability to use clauses and tenses flexibly and with few mistakes. So a band 7 looks like this. Uses a range of complex structures with flexibility, with some flexibility, and there are frequent error-free sentences. Let's move on. Let's look now at pronunciation, and there are 3 things really that the examiner will look for. It's the range of features, of pronunciation features, your control of them, and are you easy to understand? So let me say something about accent. You can have any accent, whether it's Chinese, Indian, Canadian, American, British, Brazilian, German. Accent is okay. You can even get a 9 with an accent. It's about your control of the pronunciation features of English. Okay, so focus on the features. Typically, those features will include individual sounds. Ow, now, no, now, take, tea. So the vowels and the consonants. The word stress, present, present. Which part of the word do you stress? Sentence stress. It's really important. Each of these sentences has a different meaning. I don't live in London. 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 I don't live in London, right? So where you put the stress changes the meaning. 5 slightly different meanings. Then connected speech. So this is where we connect 2 words. If a word finishes in a consonant and the next word begins with a vowel, we usually connect them. Take, for example, wake up. Wake up, cup. Wake up, wake up. Wake up early. Up early, up early, pearly, pearly, capurly, capurly. Wake up early, wake up early. Wake up early, wake up early. Once you start repeating it, you hear the sound, wake up early. It's much more important to focus on the sound than the words. That's why listening to audio is so good rather than reading words aloud. Listen to audio, focus on the sounds, and wake up early. Finally, intonation. Intonation is difficult to practice. You just need to listen lots and lots and lots. But for example, listen to the difference here, okay? That's great. Oh, thank you. Well, that's great. Oh, I'm sorry. That's great. The intonation can mean it's really good or it's really bad. So intonation is important. So for a band 7, what do we have? Well, produces a range of pronunciation features with good control and some ability to sustain over longer turns and can be understood throughout. So now you have a clear idea about what is being evaluated, your fluency, vocabulary, grammar and pronunciation, and what you need to focus on to get a band 7. So guys, if you like this video, you may want to check out the complete course. It's on Udemy. If you need confidence, ideas and language to get a band 7 on your IELTS speaking, it might well be the course for you. Go and check it out below. As always, subscribe, and I'd love to see you soon. Thank you.